Uh, no? Okay, let it be. So in flourishing, we have in small flourishing, we have three types. Okay, first we have an entry flourishings. Okay, I'll write here as entry flourishing. So I'll dedicate each page for each one. Sorry, entry flourishing. Then we have exit flourishing, and then we have a middle flourishing. Okay, EME. You can also call it as EME. Okay, entry, middle, and then exit flourishing. Now, how and when we should apply all this? So let's go with first as an entry flourishing. So where we can apply the entry flourishing and to which letters we can able to apply the entry flourishing. It's very simple. Entry flourishing can be goes with every letter. The condition is it should starts means like the first, if you are writing any word, then the flourishing done to only first initial letter which your spelling or your word starts with. Okay, so suppose I'll take example of A. If this is our A is the entry. Okay, so this is your A that I have done like this. Sorry, Kinjan, you want to ask something? Thank you. Okay, so this is your A. Suppose I'll be zooming a little bit to give a better understanding. Now, so if I started my letter, suppose AVI. Okay, let's start with my name. Suppose we'll start with this. One second, I need to change the name. I'm not feeling comfortable with that. If suppose I start with this, then the main goal is to flourish the first letter, right? This letter. So to flourish the letter, we have many flourishings or many other terms that we can do it. But best way is whenever you're doing any assignment and you want to flourish on that, before doing any kind of a thing with oblique holder, take a pencil in your hand first. Always. Okay, remember that. So this is the first entry flourishing. So we don't have any letter on the other side like here, and we don't have to flourish on the this side, on the right side. So we can able to flourish on the left side. Okay. So what we can do is either will go upward with the oval position, or else you can also make a direct entry stroke with the flourishing with this. Okay, suppose this is the first basic stroke that I do, but I flow this from here and then I'll go upward. Okay, this is like a very simple type of a flourishing that I can do, like with a hairline only, without adding any kind of a pressure. I just wanted to add this. Okay, another way that we can do is, suppose this is the first one, then the second one, what you can do is you can start from here and then you can go upward. Sorry, you can go to base and you can also make the entry flourishing for that. Okay, vice versa. There are two movements that you can able to follow. Either you can go up or either you can come down, but without applying any pressure to that line. Don't apply. Flourishing is not about making a swirl strokes with adding too much shades. No. Flourishing, if you add maximum hairline and less shade, that will look good into this posture or into this thing. Now, suppose I'll be extending that. Okay, that is a first flourishing. If I want to do something different with this, but little extended also, you can able to do it like you can first do this curve. Remember to have this as an oval. Okay. like this, and then you can flow it. Means if you want to make it, just make this stroke popping out, and you can give a nice little shade to that. Okay, so mean a little bit for that. Yes. You can give a nice little shade to that when you are going out. The first process is similar. Okay, remember this. The first process literally is similar. But the second and third, what you need to do is you need to compromise on the movement of your hand. Why? Because we cannot able to do it like this way. Okay, you cannot start from here and you can do it. If you can, then that will be like a miracle. Okay, literally, because you need to take a precaution about the shape of the flourishings too. Like why I'm insisting on that. So you'll get this. This is the oval shape, first one. This is the first oval shape that you can get. Then you can get this area as again a shape where it starts like this. And again, you need it to go through this shape here. Okay, as you can see, again, it goes like an oval to circular shape. Okay, so that is the way that you can do entry flourishing like this. Okay, then you can also add your own strokes too. It doesn't matter like it should be like this way or it should be like another way. Again, uh, that's yeah. So I know nobody teaches that kind of thing. I know that. So again, the same thing here. If I want to do any kind of a simpler stroke, but I'm not aware that how much space is there and what to do with this. You can also do or improvise the strokes. Like if you want to make smaller one like this, you can also do like this kind of a stroke, simple stroke, right? So that is your entry strokes. Again, in entry strokes, we have so many, like you have seen many things like it goes and flow from the upward, or maybe you're getting too much of a bulge kind of thing. Again, I'll tell you one interesting thing about this. Okay. This one, you can also go upward and can go upward like this. One, not, and then again, you can go up. But remember to have oval on each of these things. Okay, you can see that I have made the oval on each and every point over there. Okay, so that's your entry. Again, you can also do one thing here. If I do this, then I guess most of you know this. If you want to write something on the top of it, like this. So many people, sorry, so many of calligraphers have a habit of like making a double line over there, and then you can write anything you want into that. Like this way, also you can able to do this. If you want, you cannot extend, then you're wrong. You can do this. Okay. And if you have a space, then you can also do this. Got it? So it's up to you how you are going to do or deliver your flourishing, or how you are going to show this in your spacings. But remember three major rule here. One thing, your shade cannot cross the shade in flourishing. Okay, means suppose I'll be having a shade crossing a shade, then that will be wrong. Okay, that is a one number one rule. shade means like suppose what I can do. Okay, suppose this is a shade and again this is a shade, then they will not cross each other. Look what happened if I cross shade with the shade. What happened? The ink gets pulled from this. This is number one rule. Don't cross shades with the shades. Second rule, your shade can cross the hairline. Okay, your shade can cross the hairline or your hairline can cross the shade. That is okay. Your hairline can cross a hairline. That is number third. This is also permissible, or we can say it's good to have something like this. Okay, so these three basic rules are really important while you're flourishing. So I've seen many people doing really exaggerated flourishing, just complicating it, but that's not the flourishing. Okay, remember that. Definitely, that's not the flourishing. Okay, so this is your entry flourishings. Again, if you want to give some ideas around here, like what we can able to do with this, then again, I think you have seen this thing of making. One sec. This is your letter C. You have also seen that I now what I'm doing is I needed to make a one stroke, but what I'll do is I'll turn my nib little bit inside. Okay, not in 55 because I wanted to make a little bit of a shade while I'm driving this stroke out. Let me just give you a hint like this. Look at this one. Okay, so this is a kind of what you can say a floral kind of a theme. If I want to do that, then I'll be making this kind of a stroke. Okay, so but for that one, I'm not leaning my paint to 55. I'm just a little bit turning it inside so that I can start the point and make this kind of a stroke. Now here is the one thing you need to understand. Your strokes or ovals are there, they are not they should not be in 55 or something like that. There is no rule like this. Okay, good. I know if you are getting overwhelmed, then take a pause and you can start from here like this. You get a little bit of a shade and then you can flow this upward. But as you can see, my strokes are actually not leaving the first ascender. Okay, I'm not making too much of that flow. Okay, otherwise what I'll be doing, what happen is I'll be making the stroke too crowded so that I cannot able to read the initial letter. So don't ever do that. Okay, so this is a thing that you can do. There are so many variations. You can also add your own variations with the pencil. Like suppose if you're not sure about how to add something, then just take a pencil first in your hand. Okay, try to make your own flourishings with them. Like suppose this is A. I want to flourish. Then either you can do it like this. Okay. Again, if you want, you can also go like this way. Right? You can do that. It's like a chain of a thing. I'll show you how to do that. It's like a chain. Let me give you a brief view of that, how we can do a very longer flourishing without lifting a hand here. You can see this. Okay. If you want, you can also do it on the same way for a one letter on this thing. This is like a border kind of thing. If you want to do any such kind of a thing, definitely you should practice a oval first. Multiple combination again. It's like a flowing a one stroke repeatedly. Okay. How? Look, one, I'll go up and I have done the first stroke. Okay. Now I know I have completed the first stroke. Then again, I'll be making the same stroke. One and again this. I stop here. Again, I'll go down like this. and this. Now you're seeing that I have done this with the pencil, it's very easy. What about the oblique holder? If I take a oblique holder in my hand, now look at this one. Okay, if I do A here, I need to pick the consistency of the holder, oh sorry, the knee ink. Now I have to stop here because again I need to make that stroke here. Again I have to stop, then like this I can able to do it. I have extended the stroke here. I should have not do that. In the left, it's difficult to do the stroke in one go. Done. It could be like anything. I have not taken the judgment of like moving them in a one line because I'm flowing my hand very freely here. But if you want to do that in one line, then you should mark the lines and you should follow that boundaries while you're doing the strokes. So it also becomes a borderline for any of your work that you're doing or any of your artwork that you're doing. Right? I hope you understand like how to do entry flourishings. I'll be sending or I'll be sharing this exact thing. Okay. So this is your entry flourishings. If you want, you can take any of, if you want to take a pic or something, or if you want to take a screenshot, you can do that. But later on, I'll be sharing this in every group. Those all of you have joined. And it's also recorded, so no worries about it. So this is your entry flourishing. So my my motto here to tell you that flourishing is not bounded to any particular stroke. Every calligrapher or every artist uh, found his own style of flourishing the things in a different way. So it might be what you can say a different for you, might be different for everybody here. Okay, so you don't need to just every time have to have follow the same set of rules. There is no such kind of set of rules for flourishing. Remember this. Okay, so this is we call as an entry flourishings. Okay, should we move forward? Just let me know, and then I'll go for the end flourishing or maybe a middle flourishing. So entry flourishing can be done to any letter you want. Okay, any letter you want. Suppose in that case, suppose if you have a letter like ascender or descender, then what to do about that? You can certainly do the flourishing to it. Okay, there is no set of rule. I have told you already. Like there is no rule to entry flourishing to. Suppose I have a G here like this, and I want to flourish that. You can do it. No issues about that. You can still do it. Even though it will not get affected with this, and you'll have a clear path of reading over there. Okay, remember this. So these are my stroke. If you want, you can also add your strokes too. And when you feel like what would you do an M is also similar. So I think it's the same uh, pattern that you can follow here also with the M, because M is also a small letter, and you can always uh, do the same flourishing if you want here, because it's again an entry stroke but with the overturn. Okay, so I'll assume as this as a M, and then I can do it like this way. I'll go a little bit upward to move the stroke. So it will be same. Just what happened here is what I have done or what I have changed is the pattern of a movement. You need to understand the movement first. If you want to learn like what kind of a basic movement I have done here, you need to understand that. Like this one, Suppose I have done this, then that means I am making this movement. Okay, it's in your warm up only. The key to flourish is in your warm ups, basic warm up. If you know the habit of moving the pen, moving your oblique holder in a similar direction without hesitating or without thinking anything, then you can go with this. Again, this one is a reverse option. Look at this one. So this one is a reverse flow, right? And again, if I go like this way, then again, I have to go on the other direction. Okay. So it's on you, like how you need to stop. And whenever you're turning something like this, if you're turning here at this portion, or we can say, okay, on this portion here, what you need to do, you understand, when you come down and you want to flourish or you want to turn, then slow it down in this area. Slow it down and try to move your finger and then again flow your hand. So it's also a combined movement too when we do this kind of a stuff. Okay. There is always a way to flourish something, but not rapidly. As like many of you have seen the videos of flourishing very rapidly on the internet, but that's not the thing. They are what you can say, speed up to 4x, maybe 3x or 2x. Okay, than the normal speed. So in normally, flourishing can be done very slowly. I think Susan Cunningham is doing that job. She, what you can say, posted a real-time video of how she flourished the stuff. And then you realize the hand movements is very slow. And when she come to this portions, she slow it down to get that curve perfectly, and then she moves rapidly on the other part of the flourishings. Okay, I hope you understand that. Sorry for this. Okay, done. Any questions here? Any, if you have any doubt, something? No? Okay, then let's move forward. So entry flourishing can be done to any of it. Just try flourishing few letters with some kind of some similarly like this. And I hope I'll guide you. And you can also post it that in our group. Now let's talk about the middle flourishing. Okay, it's the middle flourishing. Okay, so in the middle flourishing, it can be done to specific letters. I'll tell you why. First is your ascenders, second is your descenders. And why I'm against of flourishing the other letters like R, N, or A in the middle, that creates a very confusing, what you can say, a view of the letter. Okay, and you cannot able to understand like what letter is it until you figure out the total spelling or the meaning of that word. Okay, so that is like really, what you can say, not a good thing if you ask me about that. Okay, so if you're in the middle, if you're flourishing B or any such kind of letter, or L for that matter, so you can able to do it. There are few uh, letters, that few, what you can say, a basic strokes that you can able to flourish, like one, you'll go up, you'll come down. So this is our normal loop. Okay, if I want to extend, if I'm doing like this, so that will be a very simple flourishing thing. Okay, what I've done is I have just extended that from this portion till this portion. Okay, I'll be taking a colored pen here so that you will understand. Okay, so I have done that. Cool. Okay, now let's go a little further. Okay, this is first step. Again, I'll go little further with the same thing. Like one, two. So I'll be using a walnut ink here. You're free to use any ink you want. And now I'm not going to disturb this stroke here because it's full of ink. So I'll be making this, and then I'll extend it little bit. Okay, I have just extended that. you can consider this as a first step. This is the second stage, okay, where I have extended it like a waveform. Okay. Now what should be the third step then? Now we'll going with the one by one step. Huh? Now again, I'll go up. I'll make a L here. Now I'll come down and go like this and make a curve on the top. Now you can see the full flourish form of it. Okay, so this is your third. So what I've done here is I have extended, again I have extended this portion to make the curve. But if you observe, each and every curve that I've done have the oval shapes, right? Each and every curve here has the oval shapes. You can see here also we have a part of oval. You can able to see a clear oval here. Again, you can able to see a one oval here. Okay. So once you have this kind of a habit in your hand to do only these kind of things, then definitely what you can say, you will be getting a really nice result with it. So that's why I want, or why I'm emphasis uh, on the basic structures, or what you can say, or basic warm-ups, is because of this. Your basic warm-ups build your hand muscle to move your hand like this, with or without agric holder. I'm not saying anything, because I have seen people doing a chalkboard flourishing with simple chalk and boards and nothing else. Okay. So still means like there are reasons why they can do it, able to do it, is because they're very free on the canvas. So consider this thing. So you should be fearless while you're doing this kind of flourishing. With a shade, yes, you can do that. Yeah, you can. You can finish your flourishing with the shade. There is no issue about it. You means like there are no set rules that I've told you. Like we don't have any kind of a set rules for that. Whether we need to have a hairline, whether we need to do the shades or not. So no, there is no certain kind of a rule like that. Okay. Now again, how we can do a double flourishing? Like if you have a double letter, what you can able to do? Similarly, again, what other kind of a thing we can able to do it? So there is one simpler flourishing that nowadays I'm following, is without making any fur of that, is like this way. I'm doing this kind of a flourishings too for that purpose. If I want to make L or something like that, and if you want to give a little bit of a different look, you can also able to do it like this. Again, if you don't want to do this flourishing on the front, means like on the left side, if you only want to flow your letter on the right side, then you can also do it like this, giving a little bit of shade, and then you can flow your letter like this. Okay, simple term. Okay, if you have a T here, then that will be like a very nice addition to that T. If suppose I have a letter T here, in case if I'm writing something, if I have a letter T, then that will be like a very nice little addition to that, right? So it's suffix to both of them. So you can also do such kind of a flourishings. Okay. And remember, you can able to flourish this kind of a longer flourishing only and only if you have only single letter there in your word. Okay. If suppose in a name of a Caroline, we have only L as a one single letter which has a ascendings. Okay. So that gives you advantage here to do the flourishing in the terms, or you wanted to balance those flourishing in the upper regions. Okay, so that's your flourishing terms. Now for T and D, if you are figuring like how to do about T or D flourishing, because again they come as a part of a middle or maybe end flourishing something. Instead of a simple line, you can also flow it like this. Okay. Instead of a simple line, you can always do like this way. Okay. I don't want to just, what you can say, give you any kind of a heart attack here. But if I see this kind of thing, I think of a bird flowing there. Okay, it's hard to do, but I'll just tell you this. And then I do extra wing here, like this. And then I do this one. So you can see. So what you need to do is you need to make the body part of your bird. Okay. So that's also one thing that you can able to produce. But it's on a little advanced level when you're habitual to make a smaller portions of the things. Okay, not too much. So don't exaggerate or don't pressurize yourself to just do like this. I'm just giving you an example, like what kind of a level I have achieved till date while I'm practicing this. Like I guess it's been like 15 or 17 years now. So I'll be doing this. So this is how you can turn your simple thing into something like this. Okay. Uh, so that is the one example that I would like to set here, nothing else. Okay. Uh, and then, if suppose you have a double letter, suppose like so many people have asked me this question, if you have a double letters, what we can do with this? So if you have a double P, double L, or double F, that's like a nightmare. You can ask me. Okay. So if because in F we have ascender and descender both. It may be a short, I know, but you can also flourish F like this in many ways, like in very different ways. I'll be doing flourishing of F like this on the first thing. Okay. And you can always give something like this to F, like a modern type of flourishing, or you can also flourish F in this way. Okay. Depends on you how you do that. But what happen if they are come together? Okay. What else we can able to do? Or double L, double F, double H. So many letters are there. So if you want to do a double H, suppose. So first, my strategy is what I did is what I'll do is first I'll write both the letters without adding any kind of ascenders to them. Sorry, my hand is a little bit shaking because I have like a really bad shoulder pain from yesterday. I don't know, it's because of the writing or something. It's a pain between your mm, what you can say, vertebrals and your wing, muscle wing, and in between you'll feel that pinching pain. Sometimes it happens when you write for a longer time and you couldn't take a rest or reposition yourself. So please don't do that. Whenever you get a time, just sit, what you can say, stand up and stretch your hands and back, please, because we have this habit of leaning forward all the time. So please take care of that because I am suffering from that pain. You can say that. Okay, so we have two options here. One, you can flourish this letter on the side. Either you can flourish uh, H on the left side. Okay, like remaining there. Or you can just leave the H like this and you can only flourish a one letter here. So there are so many options that you can able to process here. So what I do is I'll make this decision to go forward with the first like this, and then for the second I'll do it like this. Okay, that goes with a very balanced kind of a point here. Okay, so you can able to flourish both of them in a one go, but with a very what you can say, a very minimal flourishing that you can able to provide, and you will have a nice looking aesthetic. But again, there is also one thing again you can do. If you don't want to flourish the letter, you can also do it like this. Okay, that is also one thing that you can able to add here. If you want to make a balance, and if you don't have any letter which is come nearest to your this H or the ascender, then definitely you can able to use that. What about the double F? If you do a double F, so first for the double F, I'll be doing this. I'll be stopping here, and then I'll be doing second F because they're really close with each other. So I'll be leaving this as it is because I don't want to make it complicated. I need to balance them both on the upper portion now. Now look. So first I can able to do is this. This is first F, and here I'll just put this kind of a thing. So here what I've done is I don't want to give it what you can say a very complicated look. But if suppose if you want to do any kind of that, you can also like this. You can similarly do both the flourishings like this way, right? Okay. Done. You can also take a pencil in your hand first to move along the flourishings or to play along the strokes. And then you can able to make this kind of a decisions whether we want to do this kind of thing or not. Okay. So this is your middle flourishings. There are so many other middle flourishings are there, but you can also add your own version. I'm not saying that you need to just copy and paste other works. Never. Always go with your own sense of doing things. Okay, like suppose here. Now, if we see that this is finished, but can I able to add it here? Yes, I can. Definitely, I can able to add it, add something here. But whether it's suffix, whether it add a value to that flourishing or not, that's the point of view here. Okay. If that extra flourishing adds a very aesthetic value to your flourishing, then that is good. If it's not, then you're actually overdoing your flourishing. Remember this point. Okay. I hope you understand that point here, what I'm telling you. Okay. Now about the descending letters. When you have a descending letters, it's really easy to flourish with that. How? Look, if we have a descending letter like G, J, or any kind of letter, we have so much of the space at the bottom to play with it. Like this, one, I'll go and then I'll add a simple term to it. Okay, this is the simple term that I have added here. We can call it as number one. Okay. Now, if I flow further, again, I'll go down. I'll be repeating the same flourishing like this. Okay. Now, the idea is either I can go forward with this, like, sorry, like this. Okay. That's my second approach, where I have finished the one and then I go forward. Now we can see here the rules of our flourishing. Hairline can cross shade line. Okay. Like shade line can cross hairline, or hairline can cross a hairline. Look at this. Here, hairline crosses the hairline. Okay. I hope this thing is clear to you. Now, how you can able to achieve this? Go step by step with that. Never ever take a oblique holder in your hand if you're 100% sure you can able to land that stroke. If not, do it with the pencil, then run an oblique holder on that. And there is no, what you can say, there is no such rules that you need to do flourishing in a one go with oblique holder. No, every calligrapher, even though I can tell you, Susan Cunningham also do the same thing when she wanted to do a mega, what you can say, a big piece of a commission. She always preferred to go with the pencil shades because she wanted to try, or because we as a calligrapher wanted to try many combinations on how that can bring, what you can say, a charm to that commission, or charm to that letters that we are writing for the client. Okay. So we never ever use oblique folder directly on it. Never. I never do that. Not at all. Okay. Remember this thing. Pencil is not bad. Using a pencil before your work is not a bad calligraphy. Remember this. Okay. It's the only method that you can prevent the mistakes from happening. Okay. Remember that. So this is your first stage, first and second stroke that you can go up to. Now, if I wanted to extend this stroke on the left side, then what I can able to do? So again, if I go like this, one and two. If I want to extend again, I'll use this method. Same stroke I have repeated here. Okay, that is a one thing, but I am not happy with the stroke because they're not actually, what you can say, bringing anything, any good, what you can say, a good looking strokes to it. So what else we can able to do? You need to figure that out. So let's do that. Instead of that, you can do like this. Okay, just leave it. Don't need to pull these two kind of a fish faces there. I call them as a fish face. Don't add them if you don't like them. Okay, it will not give you any clear vision of your stroke. It will be like, what you can say, it's like a thread waving each other's and making this kind of uh, tricky, what you can say, connections between them. So don't do that if you don't like it. Okay. Again, the very simplest form is your infinity loop. I think you know about this. Very easy to make. One,
Ah, ah.
two. Mute yourself, Pratima. Thanks. So this is infinity loop first. Okay, we done that in many of the practices. We have done this infinity loop. One, two, one, two, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Same methods we're using here. Okay, like this, and go slowly on that. You don't need to do any kind of struggle here. Try to be calm while you're doing this. If not, you'll not get this squares equal. You'll not get this spacings equal. So try to calm your mind while you're doing this. Okay. I'm not saying they are like really advanced things. No, I'm just repeating the stroke. Remember this. I have just repeated the stroke. Nothing fancy here. Actually, nothing fancy here. Okay. So that is your middle stroke. And why I'm against of doing N, M, and other letter in the middle is the major reason you lose the sight of your letters. Like this, suppose if I'm doing the N, and I've seen some of the people like doing duk 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 like this way. What is this? I don't know. Because I lose the sight of my letter. I cannot able to read it. If there is a too much of flourishing going on around, I am not happy with this. Sorry. So those who are doing this, it's fine if they like it, but in my personal opinion, I'm not saying this is wrong, but in personal opinion, I don't like this kind of tricks to play. Like you don't have any scope of flourishing, but you, what you can say, you forcefully take a letter and then flourish it. It will not look good. Okay, so play with the letters, ascender, descender, take advantage of that. Don't ever play with the letter which don't have any kind of this kind of a flourishing elements into it. Never do that. Okay. If you see any old school books or something, you'll see that they never exaggerated any kind of a flourishings or any kind of things without any unnecessary reason. Never, they never did, never do that. I don't have it here, otherwise I'll show you a few of the documents that I have. Okay, so you can note it down if you want. Here for 2 minutes. Let me show you one book which I have. Recently, I've got it in my hand with. I think I have posted that thing in our group also. So I would like to show you some of the flourishings that I have done here. Mhm. So, like there are really simple thing that they use and they never exaggerated that uh, flourishings unnecessarily without any reason of doing that. Okay, I can able to show you here. Look, there is another variation of L flourishing. If you, I can't see the book, so I have not seen that. I'm not shown that yet. As you can see here, as you can see here, look at this one. Okay, so this is your F. This is also F. This is your D. This is your L. Now you can able to see that you can able to read the letter clearly in spite of having little bit of a complicated flourishing, but still you can able to read that. So these are like versions of it. You can see this. This is like a version of the flourishing. You can see the exit flourishing here. It's like you're leaving something. Okay, like it's never ending, but it's going on and it will be finished somewhere. So you can able to do this again. This one here. Look at this one. The entry flourishing for your M. Okay. The entry flourishing for your capital A, then L, then you have F. Then again you have B. You can also see here the exit flourishing for your O. Okay, which we are going to do it. Okay. So we can able to see that how they are balanced whole thing, but without making too much of a chaos in between the letters or anything like that. They never flourish any in between letters. Never, never, ever do that. Okay. If at all they wanted to do it. Okay. Like here also you can able to see. Literally you can able to read them. Now look at this L here. Okay. Most complicated strokes I have ever seen. Most complicated strokes. You can't able to make it in one go, but they can do that like here and at the base you can see this. Okay. Okay, so this is not the document. So this is a French calligraphy book that I got my hand on. I think this is a second copy that I have. And you have so many lovely flourishings, or what you can say, uh, the elements here that you can able to see. Let me show you a few of them. Uh, Look at this one. Look at this one. Okay, these are done with reed pens, or you can say a quill pen or a quill feather. They called it as a plume. Okay, plume means a feather in French. Plume. So they made all these flourishings, or you can see here also they made these kind of flourishings with the ease, and you can see that the balance between them is really good, right? You can able to do that like this one. Look at this. Okay, they never exaggerated those flourishings. They want you to read what they have written. Okay, but never ever exaggerated your letters like that. Okay, that is one thing. Now look at this one. Can you able to see something like this in any of the page or book? No, I never seen that. But in spite of these flourishing, you can understand that each and every flourishing has only a hairline, not a single shade. And if they have a shade, it's very minimal shades that they have given. So this is what I called a flourishing, a best example where you can able to read the letter, and again you can able to see the flourishings around. This is only happen when you only try to play with the hairlines and not with the shades of the flourishings. Okay, remember this. This is a really important lesson for all of you, those who think the flourishing is just only of swirling the strokes here and there. No, they are very well balanced. I will explain you how, why they are balanced. Now look at this. This portion you can see is the pencil. Now look at this portion. Again, a one more oval, right? Again, this portion, oval. Again, this oval, 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 and oval. All of these are ovals. Okay, they are not just randomly scribbling on the knee. Sorry, they don't do that. Or those who have done this, they never did something like this. Okay, so we need to understand end and entry flourishings. Look at this. Same stroke that I have showed you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Finish. Right? So it depends on you how you flow your hand. So what you can say, just forget about the what you can barriers that you have in your mind. Never do that. Flourishing is a very flowy, free form of lettering. Look at this one. Can you able to read this? Yes, we all can able to read this. Now, what about the flourishing? They're actually adding the value to that. Even though they are chaotic, but still they have a symmetric rhythmic motions. That is what is really important while you're doing flourishings. Okay, I hope you guys understand the fact here now. So the book is this. If you want to take a pic or something, you can do that. If you find a copy of it, definitely buy it for yourself. It's a lovely book to have. Okay. Okay. So let's move forward with your in flourishing. Now we have finished this. Now with the in flourishing, which letters are applicable for in flourishing? Any letter you can take. Even though you can also do ascending flourishing turns into end flourishing. Okay, how to do that? So let's first see the end flourishing basics. Okay, first one I'll be going with any letter like this way. And again, don't take that stroke and make a flourishing. If you want, you can take that, but be careful while you're doing it because we don't want to carry that shade along with the flourishing. No, I want to carry the hairline. Like suppose I'll be there, then I'll carry the hairline here like this and this. Okay, I carry only hairline so that it will show you that your stroke is actually emerge from that shade line. Okay, or I have seen many people like just dragging that shade along with the tempo of the pressure, and then they'll do the mistake there. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now you can able to see that my flourishing not exceeding my first ascender, first descender, first ascender and first descender. It's in between, like a small ball. Okay, that is the first stitch you can see. Now on the second one, what I can do is I have many options to do with that. Oops, sorry. My knee is not performing well like this. Either you can just leave it like this way by just giving the shade, or you can also make it one more round but without any shades, like this way. And then I'll come down like this. Okay, I can do this without adding any kind of a shade. Okay, if I want to. That is your third stage. Now I'll show you how to do this, and again we'll come downward. Okay, so we'll go like this. And I'll fully give a shade, but now I can able to do a reverse stroke like this. Okay, so these are like shapes that you can able to give, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a stages. You can call it as a stages. Basic shapes. And track it down. But you don't need to make any adjustment to your nib while doing it. No, it's specifically it goes along with it. One second, I haven't seen the messages here. Really sorry. Show the whole page. I think I have done that. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay. So this way you can able to do that. And again, you can make a curve here. Then you'll go down. And here also the same method, but instead of shortening it, I'll be doing this way. Okay. I'll tell you the one more thing here, like one step forward that I usually do. So many of you have seen in my videos of end flourishing that I do. Like this, and then I'll come down, and then I'll flow like this way. Means instead of making this way, I'm making the curve going out from there. So you can able to see simple, and you can go for little advanced. But again, depend on you how you see or how you can flow each and every stroke. So don't think in your mind that if I done this kind of a flourishing, that will be finished. No, there is nothing like that. You can able to do it, right? Okay, so that's in flourishing. Okay, see the same, right? So these are like in stages you can see. What happened if I wanted to do not do this kind of flourishes, but I wanted to do something different, or what if it comes in the middle? No, the entry flourishing can be start from the first letter of your paragraph. End flourishing can be at the end of your line or the word of your that paragraph or whatever you are writing. If you suppose you're writing one line and you have space here, you can do the end flourishings there. What about the middle? You have the middle flourishings for that, right? So you can able to easily able to do this kind of a stuff with this. Now, if suppose I wanted to do something different with it, and like this, but now I wanted to make some change. So what I'll do is I'll change the direction of my nib like this, and then I'll be making the stroke. Okay, that is also one stroke that you can do, right? Okay, there is no set rule for that. Again, if I want to make like this, you can do that, right? You have a plenty of space, you can do that thing. Or suppose I have edge. Now look at this. This is going to be fun. And suppose this is a high. And I want to do the in flourishing with it. How I can able to do that? This one, sorry. You can also do it like this. If you have a G as your in terms, how to do that? You can do it like this. Okay. You can also use those letters to do your in flourishing, like this one. So we can able to do that. There's nothing like this. And you can also do F as your exit flourishing too. If you don't have anything, you can play with the F like this. There's so many things that we can able to do with your in flourishings. Not just this, but many other things are there. Okay, like this, we can have one more variation of that. Like sorry, instead of going on the upward, sorry, you can do this. Okay, this is different and that one is different. Can you able to see the difference between them? Okay, what I've done is I've not taken the stroke down and then no, I have gone up and then I take the stroke on the this side. Each and every stroke you can see here is made up of your oval. You have to understand that, right? If you want, you can just take a look here. Okay, done. You can also do this kind of thing with the pencil. Again and again, I'm repeating that. Okay, there is no need to directly jump on the oblique holder. Okay, so there are so many other flourishings that you can also do. The best book that I recommend for you to learn the flourishing is Universal Penman. Okay, always go for that. The Universal Penman is the best book that you can learn so many varieties of flourishing. Even like if you take a one page to decode all the flourishing, it will take you like 1 week to decode a one single page. I guarantee you that. You cannot able to just move on from one page to another page that quickly. Okay. If you decided to just do it with it. Okay. So this is all about your small, flourishings. Now, what about the capitals? Capitals have many varieties and versions of it. So many varieties, so many versions. Endless. You can say endless because the capitals we can flourish in so many different ways. Okay. If we're done with this, let me just take this away. Now, for the capitals, like again, we have a groups of the things, but there's no certain kind of what you can say, any rule like what is end flourishing or entry flourishing or something like that. No, every letter or every capital letter is your entry flourishing letter. Exactly, because we cannot able to just write in between. We never write capital letters in between until and unless we have something a special requirement for it. Okay, so suppose if I wanted to flourish a, then there is a basic stroke that I can begin with. Is a very simpler thing. Is just begin with a one S stroke first, like this, universal line of beauty, and then just make a one S kind of a stroke here. Okay, simple stroke. That is a first simpler stroke that I can give you as a beginning of your capital flourishing. Okay, I'm not exaggerating or I'm not going to just give you any kind of advanced thing here because our hands are not prepared for that. So that is the first thing that you can do is do this kind of a simple flourishing, which is flow. Second, in the advanced stage, what you can do is you can go down, you can move up, okay, and then you can just make a curve like this. Okay, just make an and kind of a thing for it. Just a one thing that you can do it. Or else, if you want to do a double stroke, then you can do it like this. One, you need to do one stroke like this. Okay, that is again a basic. Then, if I want to make another oval inside, then I'll be doing like one and two. I'll stop there because I don't want to make any kind of complications into the stroke. Okay, this is one thing that you can do. Okay, so this is your base strokes that you can able to make it. Because again, we can also extend it outside and you can able to do the flourishing with it. But that will not give you any kind of what you can say, really a major kind of advantage there. Okay, so basically just stick to your simpler strokes first and how to utilize them. Okay, again I can able to give you this one, a very basic simpler stroke. This is also again a very basic stroke, which is a version of this. But again, you can, if you don't want this, then you can always love to have such kind of a stroke. Now, what are the scopes for these to use? In which letters we can able to use them? Now, imagine your letters which starts with your what you can say, universal line of beauty. Okay, those are the letters like A, M, N, then again H, F, K, L, B, P, okay, again R, T, F. Any other letter that you remember starts with this? I'm not talking about V, W, X, okay, any other letter or Y for that matter, because that flourishing is different. Any other letter which I've missed here? A, M, N, H, K, F, L, B, P, R, T, F. Can you tell me any other letter that I missed? Does the ampersand comes into this group? Ampersand, ampersand. Okay. I don't know. Need to check that. Ampersand.
What about B, sir?
P. No, no. B. Yeah, yeah.
P one.
Yes. P is there.
P is a B.
D comes to that, and L also for that matter. I think L and D is both
Not
similar.
D. A B. A B. Second
A and
letter.
B is
B
also
you've written? Okay, I
there.
can't see.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay.
The other letter that we haven't counted, I think the ampersand that you're seeing, need to check if that strokes come to this. Ampersand, I think no, but that, so I think it have a definite like this, but we need to flourish it in a different way if we wanted to. Okay, let's see if we can able to do that too. Okay. So let's begin with any of the letter here. For ampersand, I guess we need to start one, two, and then three. I think this flow, but I'm not what you can say happy with the stroke that you can see like this, and then you have to go up, and then you need to make like this. You can do it, but still, I guess it requires a little bit of the ovalness or something like that. Okay, but we'll try because it not comes in this category. But yeah, in capital letters you can able to do that. I'm not saying you cannot able to do it, but it should be keep it very smaller in that case. But you need to add a shades later on if you want to do any kind of a special kind of letter here like this. Then later on you can add the shade to it if you want. Okay, not before. Just make it with the hairline if you want. Okay, now if I take any letter here like M, then I can able to do the flourishings like this. Again, I told you that there is no limitations to this stroke, so you can also able to do it like this. And again, if you want, you can also make flourishing to this letter. Okay, I've seen many people done that M, capital M flourishing. Then again, if I want to make H, but again in H, you can do this kind of a thing. Again for A, simple A flourishing will be this. And I'll put a dot here for a simplicity. If I want to extend, then yeah, I can do that. Want to make something really fancy, I can do it like this. Okay, just giving it a look, like nothing so exaggerated, but just giving a look, it'll change or transform the simple flourishing into something different. Yeah, that you can able to do it. Like here also, if you want to do something little, then you can do it like this. Okay, it will change a little bit of a look of that. Okay, here also you can able to see this, that now we have a chance, so we can able to do that, right? So this is how you can able to add. If you want to again add something on the top, you can always do it like this way. Okay. So again, how oval, I guess oval is also a very different kind of a flourishing element that we need to take in consideration. For P and B, where we have a both scope to flourish on the upper and bottom, like here, this is a one, and then you can do it like this way. Okay. So that way also you need to balance between both of them. You can do it like this. Simple flourished elements that you can able to do it. If suppose I wanted to do a B flourishing with all those chaos, then I'll be doing a simple flourishing on the left first. Sorry, like this. I'll leave it. Then I'll go up this way, and I'll come down, and again I'll make a one more loop like this. Okay, that way, what I can able to do is I can able to give a balance between these strokes. And again, my work is readable because I have never given the shade too many flourishings. I have played with the hairline mostly. Here also you can able to see I have played with the hairline. It is possible for me to give a shade here, but I have never done that. Okay, so you need to understand this fact. And again, F for that matter. Like this, because it complements the letter like this. So it's easy to actually add the flourishings to them. It's really easy. You just needed to know like what kind of a thing you need to put it here, and then what you don't want to put it. So don't overwhelmed with this. So and comes into this group. No, so it's not come in that group because ampersand comes in like exclamatory, then question mark group, you know, which we write like this way, this one, and then question marks like this one. So it comes in that group because this is what you can say. We treat it as a symbol mostly, I guess, or we call it as an and. But if you wanted to write in your writing style or something, anybody can. It's like mostly calligraphers use this to shorten the length of A and D instead of this one. Instead of this three letter, we can end up having and as an ampersand here, like one. But you cannot just add it into this group because this belongs to your universal line of a beauty and not to this. And here, as you can see, there is no universal line of a beauty. You need to make a corrections or connections or your nib angle change continuously while you're doing the stroke. That's the main reason why it not comes to any other group. So that is the main thing what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. So for D also, if you want to do flourishing of a D, again, so many people get feared of your capital D, but how we can do that is this. On the other side of it, here you can able to do the flourishing. Okay, on the left side, you can able to do the flourishing here. Okay, in L, I guess we have flourishings like this. So you can able to do it like this way. Be calm and really calm while you're doing this stroke. Because why? This and this gap should be equal while you're doing this. It's a universal line of a, it's a, what you can say, sorry, it's an infinity loop only. But what you need to do in this simple infinity loop is you need to make one more, but by adding the equal space of amount on both the sides. Look at this. Okay. It is infinity loop only, nothing fancy element that I have added here. Just a simple stroke, but what I've done is I've maintained the angles or gap equally in between. That is a key here. You can able to see also here at this point. Look, okay, they goes equally. That's why they look balanced. Okay. Hmm. Again, now what about the letters like U, V, what we can able to do with them. U and Y specifically. Then about letter C. Again, nobody have asked me about the letter C. So for letter C, we have this kind of flourishing that you can able to do, like making one oval on the top, go up, stop there, then you can come down and see this. Okay, simple element. I just have make the loop there. Okay, that's your letter C. I don't want to complicate that. That's why I'm not exaggerating or doing any extra stuff here. No. Otherwise, what you can do is this here, like this. You can able to extend and then move it. But wherever you are extending any stroke, remember you need to make oval while finishing that flourishing. Whenever you extend it, whenever or whatever you extend it. Okay, you need to end up having the oval while you are finishing, and don't ever put a shades to each and every letter, no, or each or every stroke. There is no need for that. Then your letter G, again similarly this in category, it goes like this and go up, and then you can do this thing, a simple element that you need to do. Make it slow, go upward, stop, then come down, stop, go upward. Take a precaution about having the similar distance that you are covering with that letter, and then you can also do it your descending strokes because it's a descending letter, so you can able to do it very easily with that, right? Okay, so that's your G. Now if you ask me about your U and Y, then what we need to do about that flourishings? Simple. First do U or Y for that matter. And now suppose you don't want to do flourish here, but you want to flourish here, we can able to do that. We forget I and J, guys. Most two common letters that we have forget is I and J. Okay, so this is your letter like this. Okay, done. Take a look at those. Sorry, I need to take that call. Really sorry, guys. Okay, so then if I want to make I, okay, now देखो, I is also come in that category of your ascending loop. But what happened with this? I can do it like this way. Okay, I told many of my students to don't do this at the start of your basic letters, but yeah, you can always use this while you're flourishing to give it a really fancy look. But if you want to do it, what you can say, without that, then You can do it like this also. Now take a look, nice look here. This one, okay, just take this and then you can make oval loop, or again you can do it like this. Stop. 1, 2, and then 3. You can tick again out of it. It's like you need to make that stroke and then you have to go out like this. Okay. Done. And it's going to be like a little kind of what we can say going upon your head, but don't worry, you just needed to practice them with the ease of like taking one stroke at a time and you'll go with it. Okay, so you can able to feel it like this way. So first just take the basic stroke, all of our basic strokes, and then try to just add them in each and every letter and try to figure out whether it complements the letter or not. Okay, that is the basic fundament that I can able to give you. Then about your O and E letter, then you have O and E that left in your group. So for oval and E group, for oval it's easy because we are making just one oval here and then another one is inside. So either you can do it like this by making the curve like this way, or if you want to make only a simple flourishing, just make this oval first. Don't flourish it like this way and then make an exit stroke like this. Okay, just make a exit stroke on the left side. So that's your oval flourishing. Again, if you want to make a very simple oval flourishing, then do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want, you can stop there. You can do the same flourishing here, or else you can do it like this. Okay. I think you have seen Michael Sulzer's twisters. You know that twisters. So it's a little basic part of that twister. Okay. So that is your oval. If you want, you can also do it like this, and then you can go up. If you want to make a clean oval, this is better to give a little bit of a space to recognize it. And then you can also do it like this way. So many versions of oval and each letters are there. Okay, so many, can't imagine. Okay, just the thing is take a pencil, paint, flow with it. That's the only advice I can able to give you in a flourishing. If you want to flourish, just flow with the stroke, but definitely take a precautions about the randomness of it. It should end up like you will figure out like what kind of a mistake we are doing. Okay, in here also you can figure out that this is misplacing something, yeah, because this and this is not matching with each other. So that way you can figure it out. You can see here that my strokes are wobbling because I'm not feeling my knee correctly here today. So something means like you can able to figure out by yourself when you practice daily on a daily basis. Okay, now for your E, you can able to do the flourishing at the bottom like this. This way, I have used the oval thing here. Shakuntala, can you please mute yourself? Thanks. Like this way, you can able to do the E flourishing. If you want to have simpler one, then again we have that C flourishing here like 1, stop, and just do it like this. Okay, so this also a simpler version of it that you can able to do that. Any letter left? If you want to do the X flourishing also, it's a similar one. Again, it will come into this ovalness. So you can do this and you can also do this. Both flourishings you can able to do it in an X. What about the Z? Again, the same thing. I guess most people know. One. And in Z, we have advantage here to make flourishing at the bottom like this. Okay, and here also. Same. Okay, what I have done, I just extended the letters or I extended the strokes, but with the hairline. Okay. Anything else, guys? If you want to do a number flourishing, it's really easy to do that. Number one. This is number two. Number three. And you can add on whatever you need. Number four. Number five. Right? So you can go add on whatever flourishing you think is suitable for your number, letter, you can do that. Number six. Number seven, because you don't want to ruin the things. And then number eight, that's infinity. Okay, that is called infinity loop. You can do that. Number nine. And zero, you can do it like this. Okay, hope you guys have learned all the things. Now I'll show you how to do a one single letter. Okay, suppose we are writing any name here. Let me see. Okay, sure. I'll take the name of Nisha. Now you can see that in Nisha's name we have N is a capital, which gives us the advantage of flourishing on the right side, like entry. Then we have H in the middle and A at the end. Here is a thing that we can do. Okay, or for that matter, we can also take a name of Caroline, which is really perfect in my thing. So what I'll do is I'll first do Caroline's name. Look, one, two, okay, now let's go with this. CA. I'll not be adding any middle flourishing here. No. If I want to, then also I'll not add it because I want to show you the balance between them. Now we have a L here. So I'll leave that L like that only. Okay, then we have E at the end. and I'll leave that too. Now, here is a thing that you need to understand. Now look, if I want to flourish this, so what thing I need to understand while we are doing this? First, how much space you have in between the letters, or how much space you have here if you want to flourish only a single name. Now here we see that we have plenty of space on the right, on this, sorry, on the left, sorry, and then we have the left space, sorry, the right space here. We have plenty of a space to give in flourishing to this, and in the middle also we have so much space to keep the flourishings. Okay, so definitely first take a pencil in your hand and just make flourishing that complements the letter like this. I suppose this one is good here. Now here I'll be doing this, then I'll go down, and even though we don't have something here, what I do is I'll again double knot it and then I'll flow it down. Okay, if I want to, so that I can balance visually between this and this flourishing. But in case if you see this flourishing is too heavy as compared to the first one, then I have an idea of doing the same thing here, maybe like making like this. Okay, so now it suffix all the stuff that you want to do it. Take a pencil in your hand, sorry, oblique holder in your hand, and try to do first a middle flourishing so that you'll get an idea about the space that you're left with. And I'll not be doing any heavy strokes. I'm mostly playing with the hairlines like this. Now you can able to see the balance. If I go away from the paper, you can able to see the balance between the strokes. Okay, you can able to read full letter, you can able to watch the flourishings. So this is how every time I do my flourishing or analyze those letters. Okay, I hope you understand these facts that I'm telling you. So before taking any flourishing class, any kind of thing, you need to understand the person's habit of working with the letter. If his habit is good, go for it. If it's not, he is not a right person. Okay, I'm not naming anyone, so please don't get offended if you are teaching. So please, I'm not saying like that. But yeah, if you wanted to, it's like I ever, if I ever took a class at this stage, I definitely look at the experience and the what you can say, the habit of a person, how he or she is. Recently, I took the gilding class from Harvest. Amazing teacher. You can able to means I can able to just see her on record. She's an amazing teacher. She always tells you what to do and what not to do, and that is what we needed while we are learning something from someone. Okay, like what not to do. That is most important than what to do. Okay, so remember this stuff. Means like next time whenever you took a class, definitely look for that. Okay. And most people ask me about like whether I'm going to teach a flourishing in the future or not. So definitely I'll be planning a one session for all of you, but uh, because of the personal assignments and all those things, I'm not able to give a sufficient time to develop some new worksheets for it. But it's in the process, and I have developed one workbook for it. I'll be definitely, what you can say, taking a one full session of 3 days only for the flourishing of each and everything, where we would learn how to do this flourishing or the Gothic flourishing that we have done, that we have saw on the book, like how to do a flourishing to your Gothic letter or any kind of a script that you do, and how to add your flourishings to them. So I'll be teaching all full course. So maybe next month I'll be putting that. So if you guys are interested, you can able to just watch my stories where I'll mention all the thing and details about it. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me. I'll be pausing this recording so that others can peacefully have uh, see the recording. Those who can't able to join because of the work or because of some work or agency. Okay, I hope you learn so much from this and you'll be practicing the flourishing in the future. Best of luck. I'll be pausing it now.